whenever a woman can be enabled in any which way is wonderful. We need more and more and more of that because whatever we may say, we are products of an extremely patriarchal society.
कि आप चीखो चिल्लाओ रो धो तो ऐसा लगता है कि मतलब बाप रे आपने अपना पॉइंट प्रूव कर दिया. Even in cinema also, in life also.
नैना ने किया क्यों? You know, and I was like, यार अगर नहीं समझ आया तो मुझे समझाना नहीं है.
So firstly, hello and welcome to my cinema story, and a big welcome to the Women of Rangeen. I'm so glad you all are here, and I have binge watched the show this weekend, and what a show! You know, I didn't expect that kind of content. So yeah, kudos to all the team of Rangeen. And before we dive into Rangeen, I want to ask each of you, what was the first personal spark that pulled you into this story? Whether as a writer or an actor, what made you say, I have to do this?
So it's not every day that you get offered a script in this space, particularly for women as a woman. I mean, I find it very, it's really open, robust writing. I love it. I love the space it's sort of trying to explore, to navigate. I love it. And it's not a normal script that one normally gets offered. So I was very, very happy to be asked to come on board for this one. Yeah.
So I'll repeat the question for Rajshri ji. I have asked that what made you say I have to do this show after hearing, the first thing about Rangeen?
So many things, yeah. I think as Sheeba ji rightly said that such women are very rarely written for screen. Such stories are very rare because we have been always written women, either they are, like a full-on sati and full-on, like a literally, it's always been like, okay, this is what a woman should be, or otherwise, this is not what a woman should be, like हम यहाँ पे और यहाँ दो हिस्से कर देते हैं पर actually we all human being are constantly evolving, going through messiness in our own lives. We are contemplating what is actually happening. We will make mistakes. We are correcting ourselves. So we go through all these things. So when every woman from Rangeen is in a under construction process, I feel, and that's what even a man is from Rangeen. Even all the men characters over there, if you look at it, that they're also going through, like be it Sunny to even Adarsh. So कहाँ मिलती है यार ऐसी scripts? इधर हम एकदम ही ये कर देते हैं. तो I think that's the reason that ऐसे scripts मिले जिसमें आपको सोचने पे मजबूर हो जाए. आप समाज को देखें और अब में लगे कि अरे हाँ, all these people exist in the society. So yeah, that's the first reason.
I would like to hear the writer's perspective also, how it started.
For me, it was a discovery of a world I had no clue about exists. So one knew that male escorts and gigolos exist in the metro cities. You knew about that, from places like Bombay and, Delhi. But the fact that something like this exists, and very much so in B towns, in smaller towns, that was for me quite an interesting world that I wanted to know about more. So the more I was reading more about it, it was not so easy to find the articles. So me and my partner, Amir, we had to do a lot of research, to do a lot of digging to find people who were involved in this world. But the more we read about it, the more it sucked us in. Because where do these people, for me, the first question was that it's a very gutsy thing to do for a woman living in a B town. We all know what those milieus are like. I mean, I've grown up in Ludhiana. My partner has grown up in Lucknow. And, even sometimes to do something really small, mildly bold, you can get judged and you can be labeled and all that. And so we were like, where are these women finding the guts to do this? And what goes on behind? What's going on in their minds? That was what was very interesting for us. The obvious interpretation of a word like this is about, bedroom scenarios and it's about sex and all that. But the more we read, it was way beyond that. It was women, obviously looking for some sort of quiet agency, but also some sort of resolution, and sometimes just emotional intimacy. Actually, not, I shouldn't say just. It's such a tough thing to find, emotional intimacy is so tough to find for some of the best of us, who can demand it. So that the complexities, the contradictions of the world, that the very fact that this world exists, it was just so intriguing that I wanted to be able to do justice to it. So I just took it up as a bit of a challenge in the beginning, and then it became something that we just started liking more and more as we wrote it.
That's great. So the way it's written, at first I thought the women in Rangeen were just supporting characters because the two male leads, male protagonists were, they had quite a more screen time. But the women are actually driving the two male protagonists. Whether it's love, whether it's manipulation or restraint, they quietly stir everything. And that's what the thing I liked about it, that it's not like women are highlighted, but they are the controllers of these two characters. So as actors, did you see your characters as the ones in control while performing them, Shivaji?
I look upon her more as an enabler, actually. I think she enables the same explorations that Amardeep has just spoken of, and the same. She makes that space possible. She makes that. She widens the parameters. She opens the universe. She's an enabler for me. Control is not for me really the word here, but it's hoping for it's really to make a space, almost evoke it and make it possible, which so many of us want. In its various layers, its various shades, it's not knowingness also. So she enables that exploration. So I see her like that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, very true, Shiva, that's said. And, I was just thinking that in a way, we are always, the moment a woman do something is a taboo. A woman take up something like, and everyone said, oh, we constantly label women for everything they do. But the moment a man will, have a certain things, and we'll say, okay, it's just normalized for men. But the moment a woman says, oh, a desire is part of it, a woman is hiring something, you won't believe it. Our inboxes are flooded with people saying like how they are judging a woman. But it's so normalized, and even in cinema, even in stories, even everywhere, that how a man goes to the sex workers for his own desires or whatever it is. But the moment a woman is doing something, she is like labeled. So our characters, all the women from Rangeen is just like labeled as like, no, oh my God, how can she do this? Like everywhere suddenly, like, their eyes are completely popped up. But so that's what I feel, that, as an actor, owning, the Naina's journey was not a challenge for me. It's part of our lives. I feel the complexity of a woman's life is very regular to us. We all go through that thing because, we've always constantly taught that, okay, this is what it is, one man, or, this is how you should behave. This is how you have to take decisions. This is how you have to lead your life and everything. And the moment we take like a center of our life, we all are rebel. I think, it's high time that we change that narrative. And that's where when like Amardeep and Amir gave me Lena, and I've realized that I just wanted to know that, what will be the decision she will take, or how will she react to something like this, and that's how I kind of, uh, as they said, that at the end she decides that, okay, I want to lead my life the way I want to. I'm glad that you are a changed man. I'm glad that you've understood what a woman wants. But okay, this is my life. Let me see where I take my life to. So for me, it was a very beautiful journey that we all go through. Certain times we can't take decisions. So I'm glad that in our series, every woman is taking her own decisions. Be it Sitara, who's so firm about her, to Jugnu, to Naina, to all of the women over here, that okay, they're taking the decision. They are taking that step ahead in their lives, which normally our society doesn't want us to take that decision. So at least it's kind of a mirror. We are telling the people that, okay, own it now.
So, Amardeep ji, you have worked from political documentaries to mainstream formats, but Rangeen feels like a fearless leap into female intimacy and longing, which is kind of still taboo in Indian storytelling. So, were there moments you had to push back or to protect it from being diluted or misread? The original thought, sometimes it gets diluted till the time we make the final draft or till the time it comes out.
Sometimes, yes, some people, when you're trying to collaborate, a lot of people will look at this series like a sex comedy. And a lot of them just want to, put in stuff just for the shock value of it. But these were some of the things that we decided very early on, that this is not a sex comedy. It's really about the minds of people, why they do what they do, which Sitara holds a very amazing mirror to all the time, and she owns all those. She's like someone who will put it across in a very cheeky, unaffected way. So वो जो था, the idea of maintaining that, the minds of people, not going either vulgar or try and titillate in any way. वो एक थोड़ा challenge तो था, because the mainstream stuff on these kind of subjects is in that space. It objectifies a lot of it. A lot of it also is voyeuristic. तो कभी कभी बहुत सारे लोगों का डिफॉल्ट नजरिया ऐसे सब्जेक्ट्स को देखने का वो होता है. So then it was no doubt a challenge. But over time, more and more people that got associated with the show, they knew from what was on paper that this is never going to be the case. Having said that, you're fighting it till the very end. You're fighting it to the very last costume that someone is wearing, to the music that someone has decided to put, to sound effect. So you're doing it till the very, very last second of till the time the show doesn't get delivered. तो वो challenge तो रहेगा. It is never going to be. It's not going to be that easy. It's not that easy a flip for people who are used to looking at subjects like this for so long in a certain way.
Right. So, firstly, I'm a big fan of the two of the actresses here. From Sacred Games, Mirzapur, Trial by Fire, Bandish Bandits, Angry Indian Goddesses, Badai Do. So many movies, so many shows. You both bring such a emotional nuance to the screen. And in Rangeen, you play women who aren't reacting. They carry contradictions, silences, and desire. So, what was the most emotionally risky part of playing?
Oh, I don't think that thought really crossed my mind. I didn't sense any risk in that. It was quite a very nice embracing of what that character is. Not really. I think she's quite resolved in what she is um, choosing to bring about or enable. I don't think she has any kind of conflict about, for lack of a better word, the morality of it, because it's quite. I think it's quite lucid for her. It's the understanding. So I didn't really have any judgment on that character for that same reason. I mean, it's wonderful. I think whenever a woman can be enabled in any which way is wonderful. We need more and more and more of that because uska jo opposite hai, wo to we have seen, and whatever we may say, we are products of an extremely patriarchal society, and which is still, it's just so etched in stone, the layers of patriarchy and the literally how deep down that trickle is astounding, even to me today. Where we think, oh, we've sort of done a little bit of homework, we've done oh goodness, no. It is so wily. It'll come even for women like us who like to think that we try to make our choices as strengthened, as informed, as empowered as possible. Still, for I'm sure women like us, I'm sure these two women too will have many spaces where it really, even today, comes in. I'm really surprised by how I will, without even realizing, be submitting to it. So that, having said that, I feel there's so much work still to be done by all of us, towards that. So whatever is done is wonderful. So I didn't have any conflict really. I was very glad to be in that space. Yeah.
Great, great.
First of all, thank you for watching our work. And Shibaji, add one more person in your fan list. So I'm fan of all three women over here, be it Amardeep, Shibaji, and Molly. So for me, of course, like I embraced it because the journey is very important, beautiful, and I really liked because what happened. I had just finished Trial by Fire shoot, and within few months, Naina was in my lab, and I was just thinking that I've just come across from a character who's completely different human being. Of course, the same woman, but her strength lies in a very and react in a very different way, and Naina's strength reacts in a very different way. Naina's strength is not loud. Naina's strength of carrying the because as we said that we live in a patriarchal society. So what kind of a guilt or shame, and how will she react to certain things, and how is she looking at her life, and she will take those decisions, or even her reaction with her partner Adarsh, or her reaction to her parents, because the way she has grown up was completely different. So for me, leaving Neelam Krishnamurthy from my system and carrying Naina's strength inside me and not mixing both of them was a difficult space. And that's the reason, I was constantly thinking that, like because for me, Naina, no matter whatever is happening in front of her, her reaction will be probably in a very graceful way, or it's like because she is also kind of thinking. She is going through her messiness of life. She is kind of seeing herself differently, feeling about her whole the reaction, the whole journey of it. But the reaction won't be like probably how maybe Neelam Krishnamurthy kind of a person will do. So for me, finding her journey completely different than me or anyone else whom I have portrayed till now was a challenge. because as you know, every woman is different for me. Every character's reaction is different for me, be it Subhadra from Sacred Games to Neelam Krishnamurti, or even, Isma Chugtai may react to something like this differently, So for me, finding Naina's reaction, so I make a completely different human being, was a little bit challenging. And I'm glad that, Amar and Amir was always near me. So, because I love to kind of, have a conversation, understand where her journey will be, what the feeling must be, who are these people. And because of my social work, I'm like, constantly, even, working on ground for people, but constantly seeing women, that why she must have behaved like this, and why her reaction, or why is she quiet, or why she is so vocal about things. So for me, it's very, I like digging into all that. So that journey is a difficult space, but I love doing that. So yeah.
That also reminds me of the scenes with Adarsh, like when Adarsh confronts Naina and speaks something morally off, but Naina doesn't react. Just her expression shifts, her eyes are full of tears, and she doesn't say a word. And we as an audience understand that this guy has spoke shit, but she doesn't react, and that makes it even more powerful. If Naina reacted or said something to him, it wouldn't have been that powerful. So just the reaction, and just, I think that was great acting and great writing. So in those scenes, like, I think couple of scenes are there where he just speaks whatever comes in his mind, and she choose not to answer him. So what was that, a choice, or like a writer's choice or actor's choice? What was it?
Yeah, no, we always thought that Naina's silence is the commentary. She can justify her actions, but why should she? Why is that? Is it not understood? Like where you are headed, how you are behaving as a human being. I'm talking about others. Is giving us enough answers into what she has done, but that she chooses to stay silent about it and not give justifications was definitely a conscious decision. We are always expected to explain. We are always expected to, explain our choices, our decisions. They can be right or wrong. There is no, it's not as if we are trying to give easy answers to what is right, what's wrong in our show. We are not trying to do that at all. But to put her in that place where she decides to, choose silence over monologues, over performing her guilt, and going loud about it, was a decision we took very early on. We stuck to it. It wasn't an easy decision to stick to, because everyone does ask. Honestly, Rajshri, someone like a Rajshri could only have actually held those silences with that kind of power, and say in just with those silences all that you were able to see. Good. It's what the good thing is that you're able to see that. A lot of people weren't able to see it. We had to had to fight to maintain those silences. I mean, I was surprised, even like someone, a couple of two very progressive women I know, were like, but हुआ क्या, but नैना ने किया क्यों? And I was like, यार अगर नहीं समझ आया तो मुझे समझाना नहीं है और मुझे justification नहीं देनी है. तो you are questioning that decision. You made to question that decision till the very end, but we decided to hold that ground कि नहीं करना है. And for Rajshri to actually understand that's a great thing. Not many people understood what it's about. Many people were like, hey, but what's going on with Naina here? She immediately understood what's going on with Naina here, and why this narrative to be told in this way is so important.
Yeah, but if I can just add it, but our society really wants loudness all the time. कि आप चीखो चिल्लाओ रो धो तो ऐसा लगता है कि मतलब बाप रे आपने अपना पॉइंट प्रूव कर दिया. Even in cinema also, in life also, it's such a ingrained in our head that कि अच्छा ये हो गया तो ये reaction ही होना चाहिए. It's because एक तो वही है कि they should watch a better cinema or better stories they should read, and look out away, like look outside how actually people react. They are not that hysterical all the time. It depends upon everything. तो वही है नैना का जो behavior, like when we discussed with Amar and Amir, and like I'm glad that they didn't want me to go to like maybe Adarsh way, because Adarsh is a different human being. His reactions are very different, and maybe that is another like kind of conflict between me and him.
So you have worked in the industry where women-led stories followed a certain template. No, is that really changing now, or are we still seeing some progress? So, and more importantly, what kind of stories and characters are you still waiting to see made?
Yeah, see, it's little slow because we still don't write women with all shades. हम एक कुछ चल गया तो everyone wants to just write a similar kind of a space, and like though we have great writers, but वही है कि लिखते लिखते पता नहीं शायद शुरुआत बहुत अच्छी हुई पर लिखते लिखते कहीं और ही चला गया, because when someone writes something there are 10 people who are giving you like telling you okay ऐसा नहीं ऐसा करो, ऐसा नहीं ऐसा करो, एंड देन एट द एंड बनते 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 वो एक कुछ और भी बन जाता है. कभी कभी बहुत अच्छा बनता है, कभी लगता है कि अरे इज दिस व्हाट the journey of this person will be. So I feel we need more and more people coming forward, like producers, platforms, who can also have a vision like writers, because if they are writing a character like that, producer and platform also should push out and keep as authentic as it is, rather than putting it in a moral and all kind of face. तो थोड़ा वो चैलेंज है सबके लिए. बहुत कम लोग हैं जो रिस्क लेते हैं, बहुत कम लोग हैं जो कुछ चीजों पे काम करने की इच्छा भी रखते हैं. मतलब मुझे लगता है कि it's very important for us as an artist also to understand what text is and make it completely different than what has been done. How many women characters are actually reaching to the masses? Very few. Because because ऐसा है कि वो then it has become like a job for people, and you have to go away from all that and just immerse yourself. Ki people will remember that character, people will remember that person, not the star or actor, whoever that has done it. आप तो तब कहीं जाके लगता है कि अच्छा हाँ, that character has reached out to the masses. तो women characters are very less like that. Male characters बहुत जल्दी पहुंच जाते हैं, but मतलब सब कुछ बनता है, मीम्स भी बनता है, लोगों उनके डायलॉग्स भी याद रह जाते हैं, लोगों वो कैरेक्टर भी रह जाते हैं, but women characters very few actually remember them.
My top of my list would be to stop writing strong women as loud or rebellious, and matlab, that's not what always strength is about. Strength can be quiet. It starts with agency, and also very importantly, agar hum thoda labeling kam kar de, we're so quick to label when there is content that comes out with women. We're so quick to label it as, and feminist, anti-feminist, too bold, too safe, too this, too that. Like वो थोड़ा अगर वो कम करेंगे तो I think when we start writing women as real people, as human beings, as flawed, contradictory, they have their own complexities. and own it. That we are real people with our own complexities and we are owning it, and this is who we are. That I think is would be nicer to see. So I think the uh, I could be a little bit also uh, uh, partial in the way my response to this question would be in the sense that when I see a story जिसमें कुछ लग रहा है कि the portraiture of women is not interesting, मैं देख भी नहीं रही हूँ उसको. I am not watching it. I can get to know from the trailer. I can get to know from the sometimes just the synopsis, sometimes just 5 minutes into a series or a film you see what's going on. So I'm only consuming content, and that's a good shift in a lot of our audiences. They're only consuming content now that is dealt with sensitivity, that has a certain aesthetic when it comes to portrayal of women. And this doesn't, by the way, just apply to women who are watching it. It also applies to men who are watching it. Even they are not liking those stereotypical ways of, showing strong characters. So there is definitely a shift. I see it with people who live in Bombay and people who live in Ludhiana or Chandigarh. Or I'm seeing that shift in pretty much everyone.